Hello everyone, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. You are welcome back. So today we are talking on another interesting lesson, which is problems with verbs. If you have been following through the lessons on this page, you will see that we've exhausted the types of verbs, the functions of verbs, primary auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliary verbs, and other types of verbs. So today we want to talk on problems with the usage of verb. Every sentence has at least one verb. That's what makes a sentence. A sentence has to have a verb for it to make sense. So when you are constructing your sentences, you have to pay close attention to the verb that you use. You have to pay close attention to the tense of the verb. Are you using the correct tense? You have to pay close attention to verb agreement with subject. So these are what we are going to talk about in the course of this lesson. The first problem that people have with verb is using the correct tense. What is tense? Tense simply means time. On this page, you are still going to see lessons on each tense in the English language. So the form of a verb shows the time of the action that the verb expresses. So when you are writing, be sure that you are using the correct tense. Be sure that the tense is showing the correct time that your action happens. Let's look at the examples that we have. Present tense. A statue of Thomas Jefferson stands. The stands there is simple present tense. Stands in Washington, D.C. Then the past will be what? Stood. Past tense. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl in 2003. Why is it won? Why not wins? Because we are talking about 2003, which is in the past. What about future? Time will go to the dentist at 5 o'clock this afternoon. That is future tense. What about present perfect? An action that has just been completed and you can see the evidence now. The pyramids have lasted for thousands of years. Have lasted. Present perfect. What about past perfect? By late afternoon, all the guests had left. An action that happened in the past before another action. What about future perfect tense? An action that will be perfected, that will be completed in future. By the year 2020, people's taste in popular music will have changed. Probably we are saying that in 2010. Do you understand? Now, aside knowing the tense you are supposed to use in a word, in a sentence, you have to be sure that there is a balance in your tense. Stay with the same tense. A common mistake that people make is mixing tenses together. There must be balance. You are mixing present with past. Stick to the same tense. It is very important. Let's look at these mixed tenses. I lose my keys and waited for my mother to come home. No, if you want to use past, use past. If you want to use present, use present. For example, using present, I lose my keys and wait for my mother to come home. If it is past, I lost my keys and waited for my mother to come home. You have to be sure that your tenses are what align. Let's look at another example. Because she misses the bus, she walked to school. No, it can either be because she misses the bus, she walks to school, or because she missed the bus, she walked to school. Now, let's look at one or two sentences here. They said in number 1 to 3, make all the verbs present tense. I get up at 7 a.m. and took a quick shower. Let's look at it. Okay. Up by 7 a.m. and took a quick shower. Present tense will be what? I get up by 7 a.m. and take a quick shower. Do you understand? What about if it is he? Remember what we did about our subject verb. It should be what? He gets up by 7 a.m. and what? Takes a quick shower. Because singular verb goes with singular noun and plural noun goes with plural verb. Children splashed in the neighborhood pool while the lifeguards watch carefully. Children splash. It will be what? Children splash. Splashed. We change to what? Splash. Yeah. So that is it. Then watch is the same thing. She turned off the soap opera as her brother comes through the door. She turned off. It will be what? She turns off the soap opera as her brother comes in. Do you understand that? Okay. What about let's make it past tense? The bus was late, but I get an excuse note from the driver. So to be what? The bus was late, but I what? The get we change to what? Got. So that's the past tense. Get change to got. Okay. We hike up Mr. Greylock Trail and rested on the summit. The hike going to be what? Hiked. Do you understand that? All right. I asked our football coach to put me in the game, but he says my arm isn't rested enough. I asked our football coach to put me in the game. It will be what? But he what? The says we change to said. Do you understand that? So that's it about that. Another thing we are going to talk about is principal parts of verbs. What do we mean by principal parts? The principal parts of a verb are those parts that we use to form tenses, except helping verbs. If you remember when we did helping verbs, modal verb, we said they do not change. It is he should. If it is they should. So it's not changing. It's not he shoots and he should. No. All English verbs have 4 principal parts: the infinite without the two, present, past, and participle. So in our language, verb can also be regular and irregular verbs. Most verbs are regular. They form tenses in regular and predictable way. For instance, I play my music loudly expresses an action taking place or an action that is always true. Play is present tense. I played my music loudly. Played is a past tense. I have played my music loudly. That one is talking about an action that is completed at the time of speaking. So have is an helping verb, while played is a past participle. So play is a regular verb. I'm going to share a template, a graphic on the group chat on examples of regular verb. But let me just give you more examples of regular verb. Regular verbs. We have dance. The past tense will be danced, while the past participle will be danced, right? We have call. The past tense will be called, while the past participle will be called. We have kick. The past tense will be kicked, while the past participle will be kicked. Do you understand? Let's look at irregular verbs. Some verbs are irregular. They try to cause trouble when you want to form the tense because their tenses are not the same. They are not the same. It's not something you just add ed. No. It is regular verbs that all you need to add is ed. But in irregular verbs, most times they change completely. The past tense is different from the present tense. The past participle is different from the past tense. For instance, I see a UFO. That one is expresses an action taking place. That's present tense. I saw a UFO. That is talking about past. I have seen. That is talking about what? Present perfect. Now, principal parts of irregular verbs. A speaker or writer of correct English must know the principal parts of irregular verb. You must know your past tense. You must know your past participle. You don't say we swam to the shore. We say we swam to the shore. We do not say mom has went to the office. We say mom has gone. Remember when we did helping verbs? If you go and check the video on this YouTube channel, go and check explanation of primary auxiliary verbs. I told you that when you use has, have, and had, it must be followed by what? Past participle. So we don't say the girls have ate their lunch. We say the girls have eaten their lunch. Do you understand that? So let's look at 40 irregular verbs. I'm not going to read everything. You can pause the video and go through it. Become, became, become. Begin, began, begun. Come, came, come. It's not come, came. It is what? I have come. Do, did, done. I have done my assignment. I did my assignment yesterday. I do my assignment every day. Take note of that. Take note of that. So that is it. So you have to take note of that. Let's look at one or two examples here. I'm not going to do everything because it's going to be our exercise. In each sentence, underline the correct form of the verb. Evan dash his Jack Russell Terrier to the picnic. The answer is what? Brought. There's actually nothing like that. Okay, brung. No, the past tense of bring is brought. Manuela has dashed dramatics as her English elective. Is it chose or chosen? Because we use has, and I said when we use has, you have to use your verb number 3, which is the same thing as past participle. So the answer is chosen. But let's say there's no has there, and you want to talk about past, it will be what? Manuela chose dramatics as her English elective in part 2. I hope you understand that. What about that number 23? Get up. The sun has already dash. Because we have has, we are going to use your verb number 3. The answer is what? Reason. All right. What about number 25? Christina dash a good job with that craft work. Is it did? Is it done? The answer is what? Did. The answer is did. So we are going to do other questions as assessments in our group chats. All right. Another thing we are going to explore is agreement of subject and verb. What is agreement? Agreement saying a verb must agree with its subject in number. That is, if a subject in a sentence is singular, the verb must also be singular. For instance, the child is lost. But if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. The children are lost. Let me explain this. The child is lost. Because child is one. The children are lost. Your friend is around. Your friends are around. Do you understand? All right. Now, for instance, let's look at the singular and plural in first person. I enjoy. We enjoy. You enjoy. You enjoy. Those ones don't change, right? If it is third person, he enjoys. She enjoys. It enjoys. But what? They enjoy. So the rule says that singular subject goes with singular verb And in the English language, there's something that is funny. In English language, our subject can be noun, right? So in English language, we say singular and plural noun. We say girl. Then the plural will be what? Girls. Boy. Boys. That's singular and plural, right? But the verb, the reverse is the case. Singular verb is the one with what? With S, eats. While plural verb is the one without S, which is what? Eats. Do you understand my point? That is why we say they enjoy. That's plural subject, plural verb. But we say he enjoys. Singular subject, singular verb. If you do not understand this, you can move up a bit and watch the video again. Now, if it is verb to be, we say I am. You is constant. We use plural for you. Whether you are talking about, we use you for singular and you for plural. I can be talking to one person and say you. And I can also be talking to more than one person and also say you. You are. But it is he is, she is, it is, while it is they are. If it is past is I was, we were. You were, but he was. So remember, all these things we've explained it in our auxiliary verb. Was is what? Past singular. Where is past plural. Past, this one is past. That I had, we had, you had, she had. Okay. Most native speakers of English tend to use the right form in sentences in which the verb follows. Yes. Here is an example. A tree stands at the front gate. But we learners of the English language, especially English as second language, we tend to confuse these tenses. And that is why I curated this course. In other sentences, subject agreement is not as simple as above, actually, and mistakes are commonly made. And that's why in another topic, we are actually going to learn the rule of concord, which is also very important. But let's look at this. Confusion can result when there are words, those in parentheses below, between the subject and the verb. And you then assume that because we have more than one thing there, you assume that the verb is going to be plural. But no, look at this. A tree with green leaves. It doesn't matter. Our main subject here is a tree, and that's why it takes the verb stands. Some people would mistakenly write stand in the belief that leaves is the subject. It is not. Leaves is just, with green leaves, is just describing that word, that tree. I hope you understand that. Number 2. Expression like with, together with, according to, including, as well as, plus, and no less than do not affect subject-verb agreement. For instance, the coach as well as the players is going to the game by plane. The reason it is going is because we are not interested in the as well as the players. We call it subordinating conjunctions. In this case, the coach is the main subject, not the word, not the players. Now, if it is, look at this now, the coach as well as the players going to the game by plane. Why? Because the coach is our what? Is our subject. Now, what about if it is the players as well as the coach dash going to the game by plane? What would be our answer? The answer will be A. Why? Because the players now is what? Is our subject, and it is what? It is plural, not one player. I hope you understand. Number 3. Another common difficulty arises when the subject is compound. For instance, when we use the word and, or, no, either or, neither nor. that signal the presence of compound sentence subject. What do we mean? It means we have more than one subject there. The question is, what will now determine our what? Our verb. Which subject will determine our verb? Let's take it one after the other. When two subjects are connected by and, the subject is plural and the verb is usually plural. For instance, high seas and dense fog. We have to high seas and dense fog. Then we say have slowed down the rescue operation. Do you understand? Have. However, we have for instance, we have some exceptions. For instance, if you say rice and beans, you don't say rice and beans are my favorite food. You say rice and beans is my favorite food because we consider it as what? As one. We consider it as singular. Bread and butter is on the table, not are on the table. Bread and butter is on the table. Another one is time and tide. We say time and tide waits for no one. Is not wait for no one. So these are some exceptions. So, B. When two singular subjects are joined with or no, the subject is singular and the verb is singular. An apple or an orange was in every box lunch. So take note. Now, this one is the technical aspect, but it's not that technical. When two subjects of different number are joined by neither nor or either or, the verb agrees with the nearer subject. In the English language, this is what we call proximity concord. We call it proximity concord, and proximity means nearness. For instance, neither Stacy nor her brothers. In this sentence now, we have two subjects. We have Stacy, we have her brothers. So her brothers is a plural noun. Her brother is the one that is close to the verb. And that is why the answer is are going to the state convention. Let's have something. Neither our brothers nor Stacy dash going to the convention. So now we've swapped it. It is now Stacy that is close to the word, to the verb. Then the answer is going to be is. I do hope you understand. All right. Either these telephone numbers or that address is wrong. Is because the address is singular. But if it is either that address or these telephone numbers are wrong. Telephone numbers, plural, are wrong. Number 4. You always take a plural verb. You was is wrong. The answer is you were. You were listed on today's honor roll. That's why the fact that you are talking to one person, but that's the rule. Were you expecting the honor? Let me give you this example. I want you to. Neither I nor you dash to blame. What would be our answer? If I give you option is, am, and are. Our answer is what? Are, please. Because you is nearer to the what? Is nearer to the verb, and you is plural. It goes number 5. When the subject comes after the verb, find the subject and make that verb to agree with it. Maybe you are trying to look at, okay, where is the subject? For instance, were the nominees for Best Actor all present at the Academy Award ceremony? You can see it's form of a question. So where is now our subject? Our subject is nominees. So our answer will be where. There dash 3 raccoons digging in the trash heap. What's our subject? Raccoons. Because what? And then that is what? And that is plural. So the answer is where. In a corner of my desk, dash the schedules of sports basketball. Schedules is our subject and it goes with are. Let's look at question number 1. The books on that shelf dash biographies. Books. You can even see biographies. So the answer is what? Are, plural. What about number 7? The door as well as the windows dash locked. Remember what we say about as well as? Subordinating conjunction. We are not interested in the windows. The windows is not our subject. The door, which is singular, is our subject. So the answer is was. Here dash the winners. Here dash the winners. Winners is our what? Is our subject. So the answer is what? Here come the winners. But if it is winner, it will be here comes the winners. Here comes the winner. But here come the winners. All right. Let's look at this also. What about number 11? One of the twins dash taking Russian next year. One of them. So the answer is what? Is. What about that number 12? Neither the coach nor his assistants. Assistants, which is plural, right? So the answer is what? Were. The answer is were. So we have come to the end of this lesson on problems with the usage of verbs. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and see you next time.